There is a huge market for dog supplements, but what does your dog really need? Let's bark about it. Welcome back to Alpha Paw, your destination for everything dog. I'm Bernie Zilio, and I'm on a mission to answer every doggone question you have ever had about your fur babies. And today, we are talking about what supplements our dogs may need, according to a vet. Fortunately, we have one of those with us today, Dr. Ross Bernstein. Dr. Ross is a seasoned veterinary professional and pet care expert. He earned his doctorate degree in veterinary medicine at UC Davis School of Veterinary Medicine, and his work has been featured in several industry-leading publications, including the Journal of Veterinary Surgery. He is our go-to vet for everything we want and need to know about our fur babies. So welcome back to Alpha Paw, Dr. Ross.
Hey, Bernie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, before we get into all these different kinds of supplements that are even available for our dogs, answer me this. Do our dogs even need supplements?
That's a great question. So if your dog is on a balanced and complete diet and they're otherwise healthy, they don't necessarily need supplements. So yeah, they don't necessarily need them.
So would you say that dog food is designed to have all of the nutrients that our dogs would need in a balanced diet? Okay.
Yeah. So the good dog foods, the ones that are balanced and complete for their appropriate life stage, should have all the vitamins and nutrients and minerals that they need. Now, if your dog is not healthy or has some underlying joint condition, liver issue, diarrhea, stuff like that, then maybe you can start talking to your vet about any supplements that might be of benefit to them.
Totally. And it's interesting that you mention like hip and joint supplements, because that's one in particular that I see advertised all the time. And I have a younger dog, so I don't need to worry about that, I don't think right now. But I know that several pet parents do, and that's something that a lot of dogs end up needing. Is it really that necessary? Can you kind of walk me through why that's important for some dogs?
Yeah, in some dogs, if they've already been diagnosed with an orthopedic condition, such as an ACL or CCL injury, hip dysplasia, elbow dysplasia, pretty much any orthopedic issue, the hip and joint supplements, which usually contain the compounds glucosamine and chondroitin and other anti-inflammatory properties, they can really be of benefit to your dog. There was a study that looked at dogs that were, I know this is going to sound terrible, but this was a long time ago when they did the studies. They took the control group of dogs and injected a chemical irritant into the joint that was known to cause arthritis. And they had some of those dogs as the control group, and other dogs that were given the glucosamine chondroitin supplement. And it showed that the supplement had a protective effect against the development and onset of arthritis. So those supplements really do work. They do need to be taken consistently. Like you can't take them one day and not the next day, or just for 1 week and not the next week. You actually need to take them every single day. And you also need to be careful to read the label to make sure that you're taking them for a long enough time. So sometimes you have to take them for up to 8 weeks before you might see any results. And sometimes there's even a loading dose. So you can give it to them twice a day in the beginning rather than just once a day, which can speed that up as well.
Okay, so aside from the fact that study will give me nightmares, and I pray that that's not something that's currently done at all, it makes me think that if this is a preventative thing, why aren't all dog parents giving their dogs these supplements like from the get-go?
I actually would say for a lot of large breed dogs, especially when they get to middle or old age, the supplements that contain glucosamine and chondroitin, and Alpha Paw actually has a great one. It's called the Hip and Joint Chew. They can be very beneficial to preventing the onset of arthritis.
Interesting. Are there any negatives or like side effects to a dog taking that kind of a supplement?
Before starting any supplements, you want to talk to your vet, because even though they have benefits, any new compound that they're eating has the potential to cause side effects or have adverse effects. One of the more common ones that we see is something like diarrhea, but really it depends which supplement. As you can imagine, there are probably millions of different supplements. So depending on which supplement you take, they can have different side effects. One of the more common things that we see is dogs with sensitive stomachs or sensitive GI tracts with food allergies or food intolerances. The actual supplement itself can be in a chicken or beef type treat or flavor. And if your pet has a chicken allergy, for example, then you need to make sure that that treat or the supplement that you're giving them doesn't actually have chicken in it.
Right, right. Now, you mentioned digestive issues. That's a huge one for so many pet parents. I don't know why dogs' stomachs are just like so finicky. It's probably because they eat everything in sight. But I know that there's a lot of digestive supplements on the market. And similar to hip and joint, is that something that all dogs should be taking? Is it preventative? How do you know if it's working? Like what? Just can you kind of walk me through all of that? Because I would like to know personally. And I know that a lot of pet parents have issues like with sensitive stomachs for their dogs.
If your dog is going to the bathroom or pooping normally and having normal feces, then the probiotics or the gastrointestinal supplements might not be necessary for your dog. But again, I mean, always talk to your vet before starting a new supplement. But if your pet is having diarrhea, probiotics can sometimes be beneficial. So just like us, their GI tract is not a sterile environment, meaning there are bacteria that line their stomach, their intestines, their whole GI tract. Those bacteria help them digest their food. They have a normal population of good bacteria. It's actually, I don't think we really know, and every dog is different. I don't think we really know that exact population of the bacteria there, but we have some idea. And sometimes if they're having diarrhea, the relative populations of some of the good bacteria and the bad bacteria can get out of proportion. And so sometimes when they're having diarrhea, the bad ones start to proliferate and the good ones might die or start to be taken over. And so by giving them the probiotics, that gives them more of the good ones and they're able to get back to their natural balance sooner and faster.
That's actually really good to know. I guess my question would be, how would you know the difference if, oh, my dog needs a probiotic, or my dog's allergic to his or her food, or my dog ate something? Like there's so many moving parts. Like how do you know that going the supplement route is what they would need?
So that's why it's always important to talk to your veterinarian before starting a supplement. And your veterinarian is going to ask you a lot of questions to try to get an accurate history to base their recommendations on. Sometimes a probiotic is what they need. Sometimes a diet change is what they need. Sometimes they need both. If you are going to be starting a supplement, I would always recommend the veterinary recommended products because those ones have usually been tested. Those ones will probably have more reliable results. And I know it's overwhelming. A lot of times if we go to the store and there's whole shelves full of them.
Yes,
so you don't always know which is the right one. So the one that your veterinarian recommends is probably the one that I would say you should use.
Sounds good. Well, I know another topic that's pretty big for me, and I'm sure it is for a lot of pet parents, especially now that our routines have changed, is supplements for anxiety. So I don't know if there's legitimate anti-anxiety medications for dogs, what the supplements have in them, what properties they like. I don't know anything about it. So if you can kind of just walk me through what those are and how they're beneficial for our dogs, or if they even are.
Yeah, there's a couple of products on the market. Some are supplements, some are prescription. There's a new one called Zilkin that actually, sorry, my dog is.
Oh, little baby.
Hey, we're busy. Hold on. There's a couple of different anxiety medications. Some are supplements, some are prescription based, some can be diet based. I think we'll probably just focus on the supplement ones for today. One of them is called Zilkin. It has shown some positive results where there's a compound from the milk protein in the supplement, and it's had a very calming effect on dogs and cats as well when they take them. Something that works well in cats is pheromones. Anecdotally, The results are there for pheromone use in dogs, but you can definitely try them. Your dog is having anxiety. There's a lot of talk about CBD and other marijuana products. And as veterinarians, we hope that the research will come and that we hope we can start recommending them. But right now, the data just isn't there. And technically, legally, we can't recommend them. But there has been a lot of benefit shown for use in people. So we hope that veterinarians and we'll be able to recommend them for our dogs one day as well. And besides that, there's plenty of prescription products that can be used.
Well, before we even need to get into prescription, because my dog does suffer from anxiety and he's loudly drinking water next to me now. But I know that Alpha Paw has like these calming chews that I started using with Pod when even we get back from the PARK and he's still super rambunctious, even though I know he's exhausted. They really work. Like just one or two, they taste great for him. He just kind of calms down and like takes the nap that he needs. So I think they're great. Pod loves them. So I'm definitely going to drop that down in the description box below. If you guys, our viewers, have any questions for Dr. Ross about any other supplements, go ahead and drop those down in the comment section down below. Again, I'm Bernie Zilio, and this is Alpha Paw. Be sure you subscribe to our channel so you don't miss a single doggone episode. We'll see you next time.